The following presentation is brought to you by Snap House, Houston-based photography services.
The question about what affords the better experience and better education between a historically black college and university, a majority white institution of higher learning, or an Ivy League college, which of those is best, is a question that is very controversial and often highly emotional. But I think the truth is that most students can get what they need in the college experience from any of those institutions. My own experience, and there are pros and cons to any of them, to all of them. My own experience is that I attended Stanford University, which is one of the top universities in the country. And it really was a great experience. Schools like Stanford are able to attract some of the most talented professors in the country and in the world. So when I graduated with a degree in biology from Stanford, there was no doubt in my mind that I was well trained and that graduate school was going to be something that I was well prepared for. I think though, for minority students who are planning to attend a school like Stanford or Harvard, it's very important to make sure that those schools have a strong commitment to diversity. And in general, I think most of them do. For example, at Stanford, the financial aid package was very good. They don't give financial aid based on academic talent, but based on need. And they assure that any student who is talented enough and who has performed well enough academically to get into that school is able to attend in a need blind based way. So also there is a series of theme houses that is on Stanford's campus. And the black theme house is called Ujamaa. It's where I spent my freshman year. And that was a wonderful experience. It allowed me to be a part of the very strong black community that's present on Stanford's campus, and also to experience this wonderful world of world-class professors at a school like Stanford. So really the best of both worlds were there. I was able to pledge AKA. All of the major black sororities and fraternities are represented on Stanford's campus. So I think diversity is really critical for students planning to attend a majority white institution. On the other hand, my mother attended Southern University, which is a historically black university. And while her college might not have the same name recognition, a school like Stanford or Harvard is going to open certain doors automatically. Once you get in that door, you still have to prove yourself. And her ability to prove herself once she was able to get into the doors to her career was equal to none. So the name recognition in the larger world might not necessarily have been there to the same degree, but she had professors who really built her up. And she graduated with a confidence that I'm not sure I had coming out of Stanford. There was a biology professor that I had at Stanford, and I really admired her as a female biologist, and I asked her for a letter of recommendation for medical school. And she agreed. I thought she happily agreed. And I got a large number of interviews for medical schools. And when I actually went to the medical school where I wound up going, UC San Diego, one of the professors there who interviewed me said, "I want to tell you something." And I said, "Yes." She said, "Professor Pat," and I can't remember her last name, but she said, "She wrote in your letter of recommendation, 'I'm not sure if Kimberly knows what she's getting herself into.'" And it floored me. And she was so angry. This was a white professor. She was so angry for me. She said, I have a rule that if I cannot write a favorable letter of recommendation for a student, that I just won't write one. But to send a letter like this out on the circuit is, I think, unfair. And the rest of your record just doesn't seem to reflect that statement, or doesn't seem to be in line with that statement. So I don't know that my mother at her HBCU ever had an experience like that with somebody who didn't believe in her. And if somebody really thought that there was something that she could do better, they told her and they worked with her. They didn't try to undermine her and her goals. So she really graduated with a sense of confidence that is still there. If you've ever met my mother, you know, and I think Southern had something to do with it. She also has lifelong friendships with a group of women that is just unparalleled. I have great friends from Stanford. I have one friend in particular who I really adore, but my mother has a network of people from undergrad that I think is an experience that I have seen really most commonly among HBCU grads. So it's a very personal decision. But I think the pros and cons are there and have to be a part of what somebody evaluates when making the decision.